Looks good. Although it looks like the music isn't picking up. There we go. Alright, guys. So, I finished up those mushrooms, and right now, I'm just kind of playing around with... excuse me. With what colors and what materials and stuff I want on the mushrooms and where. Before it was too blue, and I was also trying out some of these two-tone ones, which I'm becoming less of a fan of to a degree. But yeah, just trying to get like a decent balance, see how I want to do these. You know, so the larger ones are blue, but then I've got some of these smaller ones in here that are other colors. But I'm debating, do I just want to keep the big ones blue? And then these small, what are they called? Clamshells? What are they? Yeah, clamshell mushrooms. Those be the accents of color. So I'm just kind of playing around with that today. I wanted to do some other stuff, but I want to hold off on it until we've streamed some other things. I don't want to be the one revealing stuff. Alright. Why is my... Hold on. My setup looks funky. What is going on here? Okay, there we go. It's a coach. Yep, more shrooms. Playing around with the... how I want the color and stuff like that. Trying to see what kind of balance works. Before I felt there was too much blue. Now I'm starting to feel like there might just be too much color. And it's starting to feel more like laser tag down here. So just kind of playing around with it a bit today. I'm going to try bringing in some more of the color. I'm going to leave this area, I think, alone for right now. And I think I'm going to move more either into that area or maybe just back over here where it's still all just the blue mushrooms. And take some of them out and add in... Oop. Add in some... That one is gigantic. Add in some, like, smaller accent colors here and there. Really like the greens and light bluish ones. Let's go back. It's hard to tell where you are sometimes in the zone. It's so dark. Yeah, the greens and the blues work pretty well. I like this pinkish one. I don't know if I like as much of it. And the two-toned ones look kind of cool, but I think they're... I don't know. I think they're too much in some spots. Like, it looks cool, but it looks so different than the other ones. And I do not like it as much on some of the smaller ones. So let me grab my materials. Materials. So like if I throw, you know, like the two-tone one on this, even when I light it, it doesn't look as good as it does on the oyster style ones. Hey Ryby, how's it going? Maybe it's just too many different colors in one area. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking I'm gonna leave this area alone, at least for now, because yeah, I think there's just too much going on as I've been kind of adding stuff. I'm starting to lean towards maybe the larger ones will stay this blue color, because I really do like the larger ones being this color. And then these smaller ones will just kind of give those little extra pops of color here and there. And it might end up being just thinning out some of these, because it was very, very, very blue before. And I was like, well, maybe I want to break that up a little bit. But, yeah, it's just going to be kind of figuring out the methodology that looks good and has a good balance. Good, how about me? Oh, I'm doing pretty well today. Did a little bit of playing around over this area over lunch, and then adding some of these smaller little clusters here and there. But oh, excuse me, got hiccups, or fighting hiccups anyways. But yeah, just kind of nice, fairly relaxed day at work. And now I get to hang out with you guys and work on the game a little bit. And try not to run around and show off stuff that I don't want to show off. Because there has been some pretty cool, really exciting additions that are fairly large to the game over the weekend. And that's about all you're going to get out of me in the form of a teaser. So I'm hoping that Sean stream shows off some of this stuff, so that I can work on some other elements that are going to be fairly important to dial in sooner rather than later. Let's see. How's it going? I'm doing well. Just kind of starting to play around in this area a bit. Now this one, I'm gonna have to. This zone is slightly difficult to work with while streaming because I've got lights all over, so my screen is just a little bit harder to see. And apparently, I need to wash it. There's like streaks or something on my screen from the last time I wiped the screen down. Okay, before I get pulled into another meeting at work, do you have an ArtStation or portfolio website somewhere? Yeah, I've got a portfolio site. A lot of it is out of date. I've been meaning to get an ArtStation together for a long time. It's just harrisonwalsh.com. It's got some of my old personal work. I need to update it with some more stuff. I'll probably be throwing some M&M screenshots up there once there's more kind of refined areas. But just kind of fun projects and stuff that I had done over the years. Been meaning to ask you that for like 2 or 3 streams. Yeah. But yeah, you can check it out. Now here's the thing. What do I want? How do I want to deal with this? Where are my lights? And where are my zone lines? Is this a zone line? I can't remember. I think this is a zone line. That or it's... I may have to come in here and... Hold on. Zone lines. Although I think I have volumes turned off. Let's... turn those back on. Okay, so that is a zone line, so I don't want to fix that. Cool lava golem. Oh, I was like, what are you talking about, Sukin? I did. That's got to be like at least a decade old at this point. Yeah, I realized what you were talking about. It took me a second. And I thought... Hold on. So, if you guys see this happening, we have the rock material, which has a height map displacement on it, so it gives you a little bit of parallaxing. It doesn't work with this geo, though, in places. So as I've been noticing it, I created one that has a 0 amplitude, so it just doesn't so that it doesn't offset that. I just got to remember where I put it. I think it's this one. Oh, you know what? I think I locked the geo. Yes, I did. Let me unlock it real quick. Nope. Unlock. There we go. So now it won't do that. So if you happen to notice one, and I don't notice it as I'm moving around, shout out, and I will attempt to fix it. But I'm less worried about the ceiling. I'm more worried about like the ground plane and the walls that the players are going to run up against. Because the ceiling is usually so high up. Oh, there's one right here. It's so high up that usually they won't. You guys won't notice it unless I point it out. Especially when it's dark. Oh, cool. Sounds good. I hear you on out-of-date stuff. It's a consistent treadmill of work. Yes. Yeah, maintaining a portfolio site or just like any type of portfolio thing is so much work. Because you're doing everything and then you're like, oh, I should render out some turntables or get a rendering of that, and it ends up being so much of a thing. Yeah, for real. But I need to eventually just switch over to ArtStation because it's expensive to just keep a domain going. I've been trying to get new stuff on mine forever. Yeah. I don't even remember. Hold on, let me see. I honestly don't even remember if I put my... Okay, I did put some new stuff that I did, like the M1 Grand and the crossbow and stuff like that up there. Oh yeah, and I did throw that UE5 one up there as well. I think I threw a couple things on there really quickly when I messaged Sean about joining the team. I think I threw like some of my more readily available newer stuff up there. I was like, okay. I'll update it real quick. For anybody, actually, I guess I could just show it real quick. For anybody who's not seen my work. Oh, you can see it's been a while since I've updated this copyright stuff too. But just some stuff. Some of the stuff is older. Some of it was like this was going to be an environment pack that I was working on that I never ended up finishing. This is stuff back from like when I was in school, so it's just kind of all over the place in terms of things. Some of the VR stuff, like demos and stuff that I was working on just for fun. Although, I guess it doesn't have everything. I guess my... Oh, I think this is where my demo reel, you can see one of the VR like shooting range things that I did. But I had a lot of time when COVID was happening, so I was playing around with that. But let's play around with this. So again, I'm starting to lean toward, for anybody who joined the stream recently, where'd it go? I've added a bunch of mushroom types to the 2 deep dunes. And I've been playing around, kind of going back and forth with different lighting styles. Like, how much do I want? And I at this point, I think it's too much. I think there's too much color everywhere. And I'm just trying to figure out how I want to balance this out. And I think I've locked in on the larger mushrooms are probably going to be blue, and then the smaller little clusters will be like the hints of color. And then maybe also the oyster mushrooms. I was playing around with some of these two-tone colors, and they look kind of cool, but I also think they just are too... They're almost too out there and too separate from some of the other stuff, so I'll probably just replace them with solid colors. The only place that where is it? This one doesn't look too bad, but again, I might just go to solid colors on the oysters. But I did rework this texture, and it's not... I might rework it a little bit more. The spots, I think, might need some work. I'm not digging how it falls on some of these. Although, these older ones that are already here, all I did was move the UVs to the new location. I didn't optimize relaxum or anything like that. So, that may also clean it up. So, I may play around with that. But I'm kind of going over into this area, which I haven't touched yet. And I think I'm going to play around with that idea of just throwing in a couple of the smaller, like, clamshell style ones to add some pop. And then also I need to bring in one of the blue area lights that I created. Or that I think I actually deleted the ones that Sean had, and I had to kind of guesstimate about what the colors were. So let me bring this one over here, and we'll see. Right now, this one is a tube, so I did them as tubes so they could kind of follow along that water path again, kind of like Sean did, but without having so many of them in one spot to get the same effect. Let's see. ArtStation is so easy. I ditched mine like 6-7 years ago, I think. My personal site is, that is. Yeah, I've been tempted. The only thing that makes me hesitate is I have an email that's tied to it, and there was one point I canceled my personal site for a couple months. I can't remember why. It might have been my money was tight or something like that, and I just wanted to delay it, or delay when I spent that money. And it screwed up so much stuff because I had emails tied to it. Or I had like accounts tied to it. So when I got it back and got it all set back up, I was like, oh, do I really want to not pay for that again? So what I need to do is at some point just is just to sit down and go through all of my accounts and make sure they're tied to email accounts that are not tied to that. Oops, that was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do point light. And then go from there. But even though I've cleaned up a lot of them over the years, it's still one of those things where it's like, I gotta sit down and really think about what accounts are all tied to that. I had Wix site, and then this artist I was following said he hates when people send him Wix sites for portfolio reviews, so I switched to ArtStation. Yeah, I think mine's a Wix site right now. I've jumped around over the years. Yeah, I think mine's Wix, but I think I paid to remove the Wix logo. Extra like 10-20 bucks a year or something like that. I don't remember. Okay, so first off, let's see what's going on in here. I don't think there is any water in here. Oh, did I just see G formation? I did. Let's get rid of that. Oh, come on. No? Oh, maybe that's just the normals acting weird because there's no lighting. Okay. Let's make it so I can't select these. Alright, there we go. Because I'm going to be clicking on it every 10 seconds otherwise. So, let's kind of figure out a plan of attack. I've got this blue light, although it's inconsistent with the other blue lighting, because there isn't any water in here. I don't think. Let's take a look. Or am I just not seeing lighting because... Hold on. Where'd the water go? Did I... Weird. Hold on. Did I move the water and not notice it? Let's undo what I just did, just in case I screwed something up. Zone. Deep dunes. Hold on. Let me revert real quick off screen, because I did not notice that earlier. Weird. And I don't know how this water works. So I'm not sure what is going on. Well, let me see. Hopefully I can do this without giving a lot of spoilers away. Hey, looks awesome. Can you put some close to the water? Yeah, I will. I'm just confused on what happened to the water. It was there earlier. I think... Okay, yeah, I am down here. Yeah, the water plane is not rendering. What is going on? I'm also super glad I left him down here. Because I didn't just spoil everything in the process. So let's see if I can figure out what is going on with this water, because I didn't touch it. At least I didn't think I did. I don't know. Let's see if this does anything. Because one of the cool parts is they do play, like, the lighting does play off of the water's lighting. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to John. I don't know. I probably broke something and just didn't realize I broke it until just now. Whoopsie. Alright, let me revert. those changes real quick. And I'll start just putting in the rest of the stuff, I guess. But yeah, I think I did something to... I'm gonna... I think I'm the only one who's worked in here, so I'm gonna guess I'm gonna blame myself on that one. But I have no idea. Okay, so let's figure out this area. I think this area does have water. So bringing in one of those blue lights is not going to be that big of an issue. Oh my god, the problem is, where are the lights? It's so hard to tell, like, sometimes when you're jumping between these areas, which, like, how far through the dark abyss of geometry you need to go. Gotta head to dinner. Thanks for the stream. The level looks great. I'm looking forward to seeing it in progress. Awesome. Well, have a good dinner. Hopefully you get something nice and tasty. Alright, let's, at least for now, kind of put this over here, because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, there was water here until I messed it up. I'm still trying, I have no idea what I did that would have, because I didn't touch the water at all. But is the music volume really loud for you guys? It feels like it's getting loud to me. Oh, okay. I guess I'll leave it the same. Alright, so we've got that. And my zone line is right behind me, I believe. Yes, over here. Maybe do some, like, a pop of color over here. And what I'll do is I will grab some of these. Just kind of throw them over here arbitrarily for now. Might even be more than I want, but and we'll just kind of move them around a bit. A little bit of random rotations and scale. I was using the poly brush earlier, but I just found I was still making manual adjustments. And with these smaller clusters, it really wasn't worth using the poly brush stuff to me. I just wish it had more control. Like, I can't set them, at least I haven't figured out a way to set min max, kind of like the foliage brush in Unreal. I'll have to look and see if there's another way in Unity to kind of mess with this stuff. That is way too circular of a pattern. Let's break that up. Get more random. Oops. Anyone up to anything fun tonight, or just kind of hanging out with me? Sorry, I'm gonna fly around real quick and find a one of these smaller lights that I've already got set up for these, and I can just scale it if I need to. Gonna make some food and watch a movie or something with the lady here in a bit. Nice. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody, by the way. I almost forgot it was a holiday. You know what? Probably What is going on here? What? Alright, let me try it from another light. I'm really confused why that light was not working. As I keep jumping into the black abyss of this level. Alright, let's just do it this way. Okay. This one, duplicate. Okay, that's still got a glow to it. That's promising. There are some weird little quirks with Unity. And me being not as familiar with Unity as I am with Unreal, I'm sure there are things I would have picked up on over the years if I had been using it as much as I had been using Unreal, but parts of the joy of working with different software. Oh, my eye's itching. Alright. And I don't like that formation either. Okay. So now there's a little bit of color over there. There's a pinch of color off in the distance. Now, is that... Alright, that's one of the oysters. That may end up being a solid purple color or pink color at some point, but... maybe a little bit of color over here. See, I think this is in the water though, so maybe like right up here. And play with these a bit. And again, just kind of slightly different scales, slightly different rotations. Helps everything look a little bit more unique. And let's play with a different color for this one. So let's go to my deep materials. Maybe I'll play with the purple. And grab this light. here. Now the lights are actually tied to the bigger mushrooms and the oyster mushrooms. The oysters, I just toggle them on or off if I actually want to use them or not. But I didn't want to, because I knew I was going to be... Well, originally I wanted to paint all of these down, but there were some issues. I actually could show you guys. And if anybody actually knows a trick to get it to not do what I'm about to show you, let me know, because that would be a time saver when I do stuff like this. That's not too bad. Yeah, I think going back to these larger ones being blue and using the smaller clusters. I'm sorry, I think my eyelash is also like bending in on itself from me rubbing it. But I think, yeah, I think those... Excuse me. I think those blue... The larger ones being blue is going to be the way to go. And I had already switched this one before I reverted. And then just using pops of color here and there. Let's try that. This is green. Just gonna grab the hex code. And I'm just gonna get rid of those. And that. I'm gonna bring lights back to those places in a bit, but we will. Oop, that one is inside that one. Let's... I'll take that, and then maybe I'll keep the purple color. For now, anyways. Maybe I will keep some of these smaller ones just to make it a little bit more visually interesting. I need a light. This one over here. In the blue color. Although I may decide that these small ones won't be blue, but for now. this one. Yeah, I'm starting to like this more and more. These are just going to be solid blue, which means, whoops, I don't want to drag that in there. Going to have to grab this light and turn it off. And then we'll do the same over here. So these will just be green. And this accent light is no longer needed. Although this I kind of do want to brighten back up. I think I've got purple light. Where is it? Over here. Move that over there. Oops. Okay, so I know I mentioned this before and I just saw these, but I didn't actually show you guys. So one reason I have been placing them by hand was I was originally going to do polybrush here and paint the mesh. And I could just drag whatever ones I wanted over here. Turn them on. And then I could play around with the radius of the brush and like the strength of the brush. And I can be like, okay, use the pivot, you know, mirroring, whatever. And play around with the preview size of this, which... Hold it. Hold it a second. Here's the scaling, which I was looking for, which I don't know why I wasn't able to see before. So this is probably the min and the max. And the rotation is fine, but my problem with it is that making me have to use all of them anyways, is the... Come on. Oh, you know what? I need to unlock the geo again. Oh, actually, let me turn that off. I think I can... Nope. So, when you paint them, they all follow the normal. So, if I do something over here like it's more extreme, you can see they go off sideways. if anybody knows how to shut that off, where it follows the normal, that would be lovely, because that's the one thing that I can't do. So I did, now it's showing me this. I couldn't see it before for some reason, but yeah, I'm not seeing a toggle. Most of the tools that I've used like this have some sort of toggle that's like follow normal or don't follow normal. And to get them not to follow the normal, I essentially have to go in here and individually select them all, and or individually select them all, and then I can rotate them to stand up. But I guess I could play around with the rotation for hold on. Oops. For Y, and then lock these two to 0. Would that might work? Let's try this. Experiment time. Because Y's up, but yes, okay. Sometimes it is hard to remember which software uses Z up and which ones use Y up. Because there isn't always consistency. You'd think there would be at this point, but there isn't. Nope, they're still following. Because that would make my life so much easier. Anyways, let's get back to this and I'll stop complaining. So again, big, oops, let's also lock that so I'm not going to constantly be selecting it. So the larger mushrooms will be blue, and I think because there's going to be a lack of blue everywhere, I'm not going to hide these as much as they were hidden before. Maybe I'll kind of put these up on this ridge more. Like that. So just kind of playing with some of these clusters a bit as I go around too. So here's a question. Do I want these ones to be blue as well? Like blue mushrooms, or do I want them to be green mushrooms, which are just going to be, these guys? So maybe this one will be green. Still. cluster of upright ones. Delete that. Looks like it needs another one right there. And where is the green light? I mean, I guess it could really use any light. Oops, that was not what I wanted to hit, but whatever. I'm going to take Control D and hit Control S. So I just saved, which I mean I'm going to need to do anyways. But that one, I think over here, instead of that purple, I'm going to use this pink, and maybe I'll just delete this one for now. Also, these are deceptively large mushrooms. They look tiny, but when you can actually like run through them essentially. Too many of these bent ones, I think. I can make these clusters not look as good. Something like that. And move this over here. And go back to our materials. And we will grab this hex code. Paste it in there. So let's go back That's not too bad. I might bring some blue back over here. Excuse me. And then I have a wall over here. Maybe we'll put a an oyster cluster over here. And that is not the color I want it to be, but whatever. We'll start with this. Oh, you know what? I'm grabbing the model. And not the prefab. Oop. Why is this? There we go. So this will be one of the smaller clusters of these that I do. There's not a whole lot of space here, but and let's flip this one. Oops. Helps if I just do negative instead of a -1. The skewed its scaling. Skewed a little bit, but not too much. While I stream while I'm working. I don't know. I don't know. I only stream when I'm not working. Well, I guess that's a lie because I am working. Apparently, we're just on a different schedule. Those look cool as fuck, too. Yeah, I like them. I'm shying away from the two-tone look, though. It ends up being so different from these. But I really do like how the textures came out. So I'm gonna throw just the straight blue one on here. And let's turn off some of these prefabs lights, because I only need one light for this. Now this one's light. Play the radius a bit. Don't like that one being so in the wall there. It's one of these things that, like, I could sit here and play with these all day to get something. It's where it's like, just get something that looks good enough, and then can always make adjustments later. That looks all right. But I do want a little bit more light coming from this, so let's increase the range, increase the intensity a pinch. Shoot, that did not do what I wanted it to do. I need to move this to another spot. I did that too far over. So it's this one, this one, this one, that one, and where's that one? Sometimes Unity really likes to put stuff in, like, weird places in the hierarchy, considering I put them all in at the same time, and there's like ones at the top, ones at the bottom. They all need to be in the mushroom one anyways, but so that one's at the top. What is it? I hate when it does this. There we go. Alright, so we got those. And this one. Okay. Yay. Alright. The problem I have is I'm pretty sure there is a zone line, and I can't remember it's right here, right here. So let's find that real quick, because I don't want to put these right on the zone line. Zone line. And I need to see volumes. Am I wrong? I might be wrong. Yep, I guess I'm wrong. There isn't a zone line over here. So I'm a little bit more free to do what I want. Put them on this wall. May have to play with them slightly. Similar formation, just kind of have to play with the depth, because they're not going to follow that other wall perfectly, since this is a completely different wall. Something like that. Leave the green light. Are you talking about this one with the green highlight? I like it. I don't know. It was looking... The two-tone stuff was just sticking out so much from the other ones. And I don't like the two-tone on some of these other ones. So like these smaller ones, it doesn't read as well as it does on like these oyster style ones. And I think it's due to the size and the shape and the way the shape plays with the Fresnel node in the shader. So, you know, the Fresnel causes this let me put the green one on here. The where the pink is, that's all being lit by that. So you get these nice little highlights on the edges, and it also affects the normal a little bit, but or actually no, hold on a second. Did I plug that into the normal? I don't remember if I did. No, I did not. I was trying to do this on a machine that I had from work, and it was not enjoying me doing this. Let me fix this. Oop. And see if this actually changes how these look a little bit. And we'll plug this into our Fresnel. And that isn't a great sign. Oh, helps if you put it in the correct one. Still not looking like I'm going to be happy with this result, but let's take a look. Yeah, not so much. Let's see how it looks like with just the normal on it. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Let's see if I tone the oh, that's right, I have to do it in here, don't I? Do you have a filter for races that can see in the dark to see what it looks like? I don't know if we have all of those in yet, like all the different like racial view, like what their vision's gonna look like. I think we have some degree of that, but I don't know if they're I wouldn't call them fine-tuned by any means. Or finalized. I don't know. Maybe fine-tune is not the correct word. Let's multiply this. And we'll make a I think the easiest way to do this. Can I take a float in this one and make Victor 3? RGB? Okay, so yeah, RGB. So that would be there is where I'd want it, and not there. Yeah. Okay, so now I have a control for the normal. And then these will just be 1. And the reason this would work, and again, I might just take this normal off, but the reason this will work is because the normal for Z is blue, so it's almost like a projector in a classroom projecting, or like a movie theater projecting out of the wall. The more I pump into that, the bluer it ends up being, and then the flatter it ends up being. I could also do it where I take these two and I just pull them back, but save as. Now I should have this. That's not too bad. This one looks not great though. Honestly, I think I like them more flatter. I think it's one of those cases where I'm just gonna delete the normal map out. And I don't need this one then. Or I'll leave that there for a minute, but I kind of like these flatter, to be honest. Alright, let's bring that back. See, this is where I start to run into that other problem where, like, it just starts getting too blue. So maybe this shouldn't be blue? Or maybe this shouldn't be blue. Maybe this, yeah, let's just change this to, like, what other colors do we have around here? We got a lot of green. We got a lot of green over here and a lot of pink over here, so maybe a touch of purple. This area is starting to work a little bit better. This needs to be swapped out for some of our little clamshell friends. Oops, as I start opening them in Windows 3D Viewer or whatever the heck Windows calls their thing nowadays. See, I really like the purple and the pink two-tone. Maybe it's just that the other two tones are just so different because the green and the green and the pink almost kind of reminds me of like a rhubarb leaf. And the what was the other the green and the blue is just so, again, they're probably I mean, they are closer than this one because these are closer to complementary colors than these two. Maybe it's just playing around with that. Actually, no, let's do it the other way. Shoot. Maybe it's just a deeper version. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, let's bring it back for now. Alright. It's going to be one of those things that I'll probably play around with a little bit over time, but eventually I'll lock in on something. These probably do not need to be here. What other colors do I have when I look this way? This should probably bring in a touch of pink into this area. Something like that. And then let's go back to our materials. Yeah, that looks nice. Again, I just like these little bits, these little pops of color kind of in the blue, with the blue being the more dominant. I think there's still some places where, like, I may work on the balance because it's like, this is green, this is red, this is, like, they're very, like, there's a couple spots where it's, like, super segmented. Like, that's a lot of green and blue. And then over here, you know, this is a lot of red. So it might be like, okay, this should be red, and then over here, one of those should be green or something. So something more like this. I should just write down these codes so I can just type them in or memorize them, but copy paste works for me. So I will keep doing that, I guess. It's funny because just the color can play so much into the lighting too. Like how intense it reads and how much it pops. Sorry, my lips are getting chapped from all the talking. Can't wait for winter to be over so my lips aren't getting so chapped so quickly. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Kind of the green area now has some green mushrooms to kind of give it its... Oop, that scared me. Oh, thanks Squishy Mustard for the subscription and for scaring everybody. Now you officially have one of your who have the first badge. I think that means there's 7 badges left. If anybody wants one of those first top 10 subscribers badges. Let's take a look. Throw some of these down real quick. The question is, what color do I want them? I might actually just keep them as green. Yeah, I think we'll just do green. Although maybe I'll move it more. Material. And do this green. The question is this really where I want it? More like over here. So it gets a little play off the ceiling too. How does that look? Leave it like that for now. think this is gonna be just replaced with another one because I've got some newer shapes for that specific mushroom that I haven't used as much. Something like that. This is going to get replaced with some color, but what color is the question? Probably a pink. There's a whole lot of green over here. Where was that? Right there. I think instead of the inside of this curve, I'm going to put it right on the outside. Oops. Helps if I grab the right folder. Just some small adjustments on that. Yep, that one's just like some. It's kind of hard to tell because it's dark, but I thought that one was kind of free floating there, and I was right. Okay, so let's go back to our material. And we should have a pink light over here. Pretty good. Make this one a little bigger. And this one I wanted as an oyster when I first made that, so let's replace it with an oyster. Oops. Let's play around with some of these. Again, this is gonna be another smaller cluster, just because it's you know, like this pillar here is pretty small, so I don't want to like do too much. It probably needs to be larger, or let's bring another one of these. Oops. And let's mirror that. You know what? Actually, let's mirror this one too. That is my z-axis. That was not what I wanted. Whoa! That's what I wanted. Oops, I grabbed the mushroom off in the back. For anybody who hasn't worked in 3D, it can be very, depending on the software you're using, it can be very easy to accidentally grab something that is in the background. And you start moving stuff around, you're like, oh, this is great. And then you go and look at your model and you get very sad. Although this side that probably wouldn't have been too sad of a mistake. It's usually more like when you're actually actively modeling and not like basically set dressing. This is the same thing I do on when I work in set deck on movies. Just kind of move stuff around and make it look pretty. I do not like that cluster. That's not looking pretty. Just a little. There we go. That's better. And we'll grab one of these ones and put down lower. Is that the one I thought it was? Yep. Is this the one? Yes. Shoot. Maybe it'll look better on the other side. There we go. Okay, so now I just got to deactivate most of these lights because we don't want a bunch of lights sitting right on top of each other. That will lead to bad things. Okay. So which one has light? This one? Does it? And we will increase the range, radius a bit, and probably brighten this one up. And pinch. That's better. Okay. What's the other thing I was gonna do? Again, I really wish these would all place in here, but they're not going. These ones I know won't because I'm not duplicating. But I've noticed even when I duplicate stuff, it doesn't always stay in the hierarchy position. Like, oh, that was not what I wanted to do. Okay. Try this again. Actually, I guess it doesn't really matter where I put it. And we'll grab all these other ones that we've added. Oops, collapse these ones down so I'm not grabbing the children separately, because it'll just yell at me. There we go. Try to keep things a little bit organized. We got all of our lights. The lights have been staying in there because I have been duplicating them, which is nice when it actually stays in there. Alright, so it's looking pretty good. I'm going to play with this one's location and size. So it's all around in here. It's one thing, this zone is really difficult to see. I don't understand why it does that sometimes, where all of a sudden I can't see the mushrooms. But as you can see, there's like all this stuff over here. And it comes to like, do we want to keep that in the dark? For now, I'm gonna keep it in the dark. Because that was kind of how it was initially done. But if we decide to put like camps or something, you know, in this area, that'll change, obviously. But right now, it'll be dark and scary. Keep that large one. Or no, I guess. This is another spot I wanted oysters. So let's get rid of that. And what do we have it down here? Green. Let's bring in some. Some quick oysters. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll move this one over here. And we can kind of tuck this one. Under that. And we'll go back to our materials. And then, which one's the large one? Is this one? So let's turn off the other two's lights. And grab our pink color code. And we'll paste it over here. Oops. And this is going to need to be played with. I just have to increase the. There we go. Bring down the range on that. Something like that. And I think I do want to keep the blue light over here. Excuse me. But I do want to bring those in as the small little clamshell ones. So I'll just bring a couple. Throw in our blue lights, and there should be a green light over here. to color code. Now let's play with the size of this. I do want to, I don't maybe want it as large as it was before, but I do want to play with this so that it hits the wall a little bit more than that. It's not too bad. I think I need like a pop of green over here. Although, again, this is where that water that I'll take the blame. I don't know what happened to it, but it was probably me. Is not rendering properly. So I'll plop a couple over here because if I put them over here, this part was water. I believe this was an island right here. So let's grab a couple more of these. Something like that. And they're already green. Let's grab our green light over here. And I'm not going to necessarily call this done, but I'm going to call this for the night, I think, after this little cluster here. And hopefully we'll show off some of the other stuff that we've added tomorrow, and I can move back into Night Harbor and playing with some of the stuff over there, finishing off that inn that I was working on, if I don't finish it off before the stream. But I do need to get back to that now that I've kind of got this stuff down here looking alright to a degree. Although that is not in a location I want. I want this a little more to the left. Maybe just into the water, but if it is, I can always fix it later. This one is probably floating. Yep. And by floating, I don't mean in the water. I mean floating in the air. Oh, that's still not where I want it. Oh, it's not. That's not too bad. Okay, so that's kind of where I want it. Let's take a quick look. also walk around this with my torch, since that's what players... Maybe not every player, but a lot of players will walk around down here with a torch. Oh, I had collision on that. Am I just going so fast I'm not realizing? Hold on, let me turn it. Let's take off the cheats. Huh. Apparently this one's collision is not on, so I will have to fix that. Yeah, just that one. And let's at least give ourselves a... It's looking pretty cool. I might tone down how many I have over here, but... And I might bring these just down to the kind of ground. Oop, got a floating one. I may play with the positioning of this light, because I don't like how it's kind of reading with the streaks. The way it's interacting with the texture looks kind of sloppy, so I might fix that as well. Okay. Let me jump back, fix up those couple little things real quick, now that I'm thinking about them. And then I'm going to call the stream for tonight. For those that aren't familiar with our game, it's Monsters and Memories. It is an indie MMO that is heavily inspired by classic first generation MMOs. EverQuest is kind of our main inspiration, but we do draw from a couple of the other older ones as well. Maybe it's just going to be increasing the range or decreasing the range. There we go. That's better. And we are currently in our proof of concept phase, so we're kind of proving out the area in a small little vertical slice of the game. What was the other thing I wanted to do? I wanted to move these down. So we are in the process of building that out. I will put some links in chat in a second. Save this. And was there any other things that I mentioned? I think that was it. Okay, so let me put these links in the chat for everybody anybody who's new. So this is our website where you can learn more about our game. This is our Discord. We have a pretty decent sized community at this point. All of our developers are in there. If you would like to join, we have all sorts of discussions about the game itself. You can ask us questions. We also have, just kind of in general game design discussions and things like that about, other games and, fun place to have some conversations. We have a mailing list, so you can, if you don't want to be on the Discord and you want to kind of stay up to date, you can join the mailing list. We also will send out surveys occasionally. just to kind of get an idea of where or what the what people that are following are kind of thinking about the different things we're doing, or like we did a class survey, class and race survey not too long ago. Also, it might be tied into testing. We were hoping to get some people in the game playing with us by the end of the year. That's kind of our goal. The links I just threw up there are if I could speak, are the other team members that are currently streaming. So Sean is the living robot, and he does a lot of development streams, kind of show stuff off. We do testing on those streams as well. Zukin sculpts. Zukin does character and critter art. Goblin does our concept, but he also does some animation and some 3D stuff as well. But I think he's only done concepts on his stream. Nick does QA testing and design work on his. And then Ali has been posting stuff on our YouTube. He hasn't done anything on Twitch yet, I don't think. But that is his channel for when he does. If you want to get caught up on past development blog VODs, we post them all on YouTube. So, there's the link to the YouTube. You can catch up on all of our individual streams are posted up there. If you are watching on YouTube, please remember to like and subscribe, and comment below to help us out with the algorithm. We really appreciate that. Other than that, that is kind of all that I'm gonna do for tonight's stream. Like I said, hopefully next week, or not next week, on Wednesday during my Wednesday stream, which is at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be back into Night Harbor and Shaded Dunes, working on some of the structures there. We have some new concepts to kind of go off of, and I need to finish off that, oh my gosh, excuse me. Hiccups are starting to win. But anyways, I need to finish off some of the structures out there, and there's a bunch of other stuff I need to play around with now as well. And yeah, so my streams, again, Wednesday 1 p.m. and tonight, Mondays at 8 p.m. and those are both Eastern Standard Times. And then maybe occasionally I'll have bonus weekend stream, although I haven't had one yet. I keep telling myself I'm going to, I just haven't done it yet. So thank you guys very much for hanging out with me. I'm going to try this button, and it's still not working. One of these days the credits will work. But they don't. I apologize. But thanks guys for hanging out with me. I will talk to you guys on Wednesday. Later.